Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Jonathan, and pretty much I'm going to be speaking to you about my encounters with God and Jesus and how it's affecting me in my life right now. Um, I believe God speaks to us in certain different ways. Me, I don't know what it is, but God seems to have a hold of me, and I hear voices in my head, and I thought I was going schizophrenic or going crazy or bipolar. But to find out the truth is that God saved me. God saved my life. And here's my story with Him and God. It all started when I was depressed and I was sad and I had nobody around. And I was begging for my parents' help when I was kicked out because I was trying to do it on my own. Well, I ended up reaching a rough spill where it was like, can I go any further? You know, and so I said no, I called quits. Next thing you know, I ended up buying a bottle of bleach. I got a fountain drink from AM/PM. That's where I got the bleach. Poured half of the bleach inside the cup and poured a little bit half of soda. Barely this much of soda. A lot of bleach. And I took a sip and it burned my mouth. But I knew that it could stop my heart. And I was thinking, I'm going to go through this. Let's do it. So I ended up drinking the bleach. I ended up drinking pretty much half of the whole cup and just gunk, 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 gunk. And I started gagging. My brain started hurting. My eyeballs felt like they're going to pop out. And next thing you know, I fall to the floor because I couldn't move. My chest was hurting, my pain, my stomach. And everything was just hurting. It was like a sudden rush. Like just everything just started coming at once. Like overload. My body's hurting. I thought it was going to stop my heart and it didn't. It was burning me insides. Well, as I was laying on the floor, about to crawl to the door and start banging for help, these lights appear in front of me. And I turn around and I see these three objects that you can't see, but you can see through them. Like that movie Predator, where he's invisible. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can see through them, but they're right there in front of you. And behind them, there was like these two people wearing robes, like with what Iraqis wear and stuff and all that. Well, next thing you know, he puts his hand out to me. This object, this being, whatever it was, puts his hand out and it touches my two fingers. And within an instant, my body, I was cured. And it was weird. I went from gagging to foaming out the mouth to wondering if I was going to die right there to everything is fine and everything is normal. And I still, to this day, I'm still terrified about it. I end up getting up off my feet and I looked over towards my left and there's a mirror where I was at. And I could see one of the persons that was behind him, behind the object. And it started talking and moving its hands. But I couldn't hear one word it was saying. I couldn't understand. I blinked my eye and they're all gone. But me, I still have a half bottle of bleach. And I had a half cup of bleach. And I'm fine. I went from throwing up almost to bleeding out the mouth to my gums are burning to my mouth is on fire to my stomach needed to get pumped to I'm just normal after I touched his hand. And I went to go to my friend's house the next day to go tell her about it. And as I'm going to the house, I noticed that day I just woke up and I felt different. I felt like everything was just shining and glowing, like certain things were just standing out. And it's weird. I ended up going to her house and I was going to tell her about it, but I ended up keeping it to myself because I thought she would have thought I was crazy. I mean, anybody in my particular whatever, my story I'm telling her now, it sounds crazy, but it's just something that happened to me in my life experience. Well, next thing you know, there's a pile of books and magazines, and I'm looking at them, I'm just seeing a pile, and I noticed this one book stands out, and it's called the Book of Life. And I guess it was about Jesus Christ. I didn't know that, but I end up grabbing it. And as I pick it up, I get this electricity shock, like it just tapped the tip of my fingers. And I was like, damn, what's up with all this static? Long story short, I end up taking the book, put it in my bag, I leave, go back to where I was at, where I was dying pretty much, and where God came and saved me. And I don't know, it was the Book of Life, and it was called the Book of Life about Jesus Christ. And I ended up opening the book, and I was like, oh, wow, it's a Bible. Well, I ended up looking up at God and heaven and stuff, and I started saying in my mind, who was that night? And the first word that pops up is like the fingertips wanted me to touch this page, and they wanted me to touch this word. It's like electricity was grabbing it like a magnet. And next thing you know, it says the Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I was like, who is that behind me? Or who is that behind you? And it says Jesus Christ. And I believe it was his mother, Mary, that they were there watching, taking care of me, making sure that I was safe, and that I had a sole purpose on this world. Well, next thing you know, I started following the book. For 30 days I did. I followed the book. I listened to the wind. I started listening to like my cigarette ashes, like wherever it goes, I follow it. The leaf falling, birds, all this stuff. And it was weird. Like, I don't know what made me do it or whatever, why I started doing it, but I did it for a whole month, and it was like a test God was giving me for all my sins that I did. And I know my sins I did. I don't have to recap with anybody about them, but it's like God gave me a big test and I passed it. But he gave me spiritual gifts like now. Because this is the weird part, and this is the kicker. And if you're still with me after 7 minutes, thank you. I can see planes off my hand. I have visions while I'm walking. Like, I'll see like a red Honda in my head. It has like a sticker on the back of it. And I can point it out. Like, I'm like, all right, there's a car coming with a sticker in the back side of the bumper. And next thing you know, there it is. It appears in front of me. And I asked the book. I had the book still, and I was looking at it, and I have a new version of the Holy Bible. I have this one my friend gave me. Yeah. But the Book of Life one I had, and I don't have it anymore. But here's the fun part. I have like all these visions now, and I had a dream that everybody was on fire and it came from the sun, and that was Judgment Day. I'm not saying I could predict Judgment Day, or he gave me a taste of what it's going to be like when that day comes, but it just scares the hell out of me, because that's the wrath of God, knowing the fact that he gave up on us and that he didn't want us to further go on. Yeah. But as I was following the book, back to my subject, what I was talking about, now he gave me all these gifts where I can see things, and I'm spotting out things, and I'm doing things, and I'm following his words. Like, literally following his words. I could hear words from the wind. I could see things, like a bug comes by me and flies, like, you know, when they go in your face and they're buzzing right there. I could hear words. Like, there is a bus coming right now. It is a school bus. And I said it out loud. I was like, there is a school bus coming right now. And it was from a fly that was flying in my face, like, zzz, just like that. And a lady's listening, lady's looking, because she's waiting at the bus stop for me, with me. And I'm like, I look behind me, and there was a yellow school bus. And she's like, how'd you do that? And I was like, I don't know. It's like, I just have this gift. And she's like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I never had these gifts before. And I think they came from me touching God's hand. And then he says I opened up my third eye. If anybody knows stuff about this, please write to me, because I don't know much about the Bible. I haven't read the Bible. I just know that there's a God, and that there's something bigger than us that created us. And I know that he is something to appreciate because he gave us life. But it's been going on for the past year now. Every single day, it's like he's talking to me. He calls me his son and like a lot of other things. And I don't know. I just feel like I think I'm a prophet, or God saved me and he gave me like these certain things, which I don't know, it's spiritual, powerful gifts. But it's weird when I'm holding the Bible, it's like I open up a page and it's like the number 6 pops up, or 7 or 8 or 9. And then I count the cars, and then next you know, there's like a cross on the car, and I'm like, what the heck? And it's like he's trying to show me things. Like he's like, look, I'm with you. Don't worry, just keep following in my steps. And I do. But it gets overwhelming sometimes because it takes a lot of energy out of me now, I notice. Like my body gets weak, I get tired, I feel sleepy sometimes. And I've been trying to block it out with certain things because I just feel like he's putting too much pressure on me. And if you ask who's he, I feel like God is, in Jesus. Because as I was doing this stuff for a whole month, following in his footsteps, pointing out cars, planes, all this stuff in public, like doing all this crazy stuff, I end up crying in my backyard. And I was crying holding the Bible, and I was just crying my tears out, just running. And I look up to the sky, and I'm in my mind, and I'm like, where are you at with me? Where are you? If you're here, where are you? Why am I doing all this stuff? I'm losing my friends. I'm looking crazy. I mean, I feel like I'm going nuts. But some people say there's a thing called psychosis, where you see things that aren't there. But see, I'm seeing things that are there, and I'm calling out things, and I'm trying to explain that to my parents, that I told them what happened and stuff, and they don't even believe me. But the sad part is, it's like I tried committing suicide. I just brought that up to you, and you guys didn't want to conversate about that either. Well, as I'm crying and I'm holding the Bible, I look down, and my dog in the backyard makes a weird noise, like, "Arr." And I look up and I see this guy in front of me, and Jesus appeared in front of me. And I jumped back because I didn't know who it was. It was just some random person in my backyard with a beard, wearing a white and red, brownish, kind of like robe turpus thing. I don't know how tall he was. It was like a blink of an instant, like blink right there. I'm like, oh shit. I jumped back, and next thing you know, he's gone. And my dog starts sniffing the spot, doing a circle around where he was standing. And next thing you know, she's like looking around, like, and her tail's stiff. And that's when I knew that there's more to life than what we think of. Because if this guy just appeared in front of me after 2,000 years of being dead, I mean, there's something more, and there's more meaning to life. And I think God's trying to explain that to me. But at the same time, my birthday's on Christmas. I should have died when I was born, because 2 pounds dropped down to 1. But I asked the Bible, who was that? And I feel like there was a girl on Dr. Phil where she was saying, I think I'm a prophet. I am a prophet. And that she says that God talks to her through like the Bible, through like she hears voices. And that's like me. And like I could look up at the sky right now and I could read clouds. Like the clouds would be coming by, and I could see like shapes and letters and sentences out of the clouds that no one else could see. Like you can't see it, but I can see it. It's there. I'm like, if you look closely and you turn to your right, in 3 seconds there will be a UPS truck. And next thing you know, there's a UPS truck, and I think I'm just going to record it and just show the world, because it's not a hoax. It's not like something for a laugh or joke. I mean, this is serious. This is something about that's going on in my life, and I don't know what to do. And that's the only reason why I'm turning into YouTube. You know, hopefully I get somebody to view this, or someone that looks up I'm a prophet or Encounter with God. But I need some help, and I need some replies back and something to do with all this, because I got my son to worry about. I got me, and I don't know if I could take much more of this. But anyways, though, from the time now and time here, it's just a headache. I feel like God talks to me and He wants me to show the world that uh, I'm a prophet and that they made me a prophet, and that there's some type of purpose for me in this world, and I think it's something bigger than what it is. But I need some help out there, and if I can get some replies back, please do. My name's Jonathan. Go ahead and talk some shit. Go ahead and say some words, whatever. Just throw something back at me. All right, you guys.